am the Kid Movie Ninja. Hi, Internet! And welcome to a long overdue episode of Gotta Review 'Em All with your hosts, Fighting Leaf and Husky the Wolf. We've reviewed a lot of these Pokemon movies by now, and every single time something weird or special has happened, whether it's the introduction of a new character, or some special guest star, or a visit from an otherworldly deity.
It was a freaking god!
No one cares, Jerry!
This time, however, I just want it to be a nice, calm, peaceful review without any kind of
Fighting Leaf! I have returned to get my revenge for that frozen review!
nothing special about this one.
No fun ever again!
We're going to be looking at Lucario and the Mystery of Mew.
So we start off with a flood of Pokemon clip art, followed by a clip show montage of other movies, before we get into the real backstory of this movie.
This intro is intentionally a little bit of a mess because it's trying to leave a bunch of unanswered questions for the rest of the film to delve into. It's here where we meet Lucario, voiced by Chimel, scoping out the area.
Chimel? You don't mean...
I do indeed. The legendary voice actor who played the male protagonist of Outlanders, whose name I can't be bothered to remember right now.
Ah! I'm in space!
A classic.
He sees two armies about to duke it out, one in red armor and the other in green.
I get it!
He uses the power of his aura to communicate telepathically with his master, Sir Aaron. Because the power of aura in this movie is basically magic. Yes, I understand that it's supposed to be all mysterious and whatnot, but that's not what aura does. Aura is the energy exuded by all living things. It can be cultivated to perform many and varied abilities. It can deliver an early warning system in case of harm. It can also be used as an extension of the self, whether for extended reach or as a weapon. Heat and force are the basic elements of aura. But there are limits as to what aura can do.
Yeah, aura doesn't give you freaking psychic powers! Idiot!
Actually, Lucario is perfectly capable of learning certain psychic attacks, opening the door to the possibility—
Nobody cares!
How are you recovering from that newest invention of yours, by the way?
Why, I still can't feel the left side of my face. Such is the power of science!
Anyway, according to Lucario, once the two armies clash, their kingdom will be caught in the middle and they'll all die. No, I'm not kidding. Just ask Sir Aaron, voiced by Jason Griffith.
But, Your Highness, there will be no survivors.
Who really seems to be phoning in his performance in this movie.
So what, did he not get paid enough to be in this kind of garbage or what? So Aaron leaves the castle, finds Lucario, and tells him this.
I have abandoned the Queen and the kingdom. I'll never return.
It was about here, 6 minutes and 12 seconds into the movie, that Husky and I were able to piece together the twist.
Yeah, Pokemon movies aren't exactly famous for their twists and turns.
Sir Aaron is trying to act like some kind of traitor or coward in front of Lucario.
But he's only doing that so he can perform some kind of heroic sacrifice that he doesn't want Lucario to get caught up in.
So he traps Lucario in this ancient Pokeball prototype thing to keep him from interfering.
He does the thing, all the nasty warfare outside stops immediately because shut up, and everything is peaceful for the next 1,000 years.
Yeah, because that's how history works.
And guess what? We never get to learn who exactly they are or why they're killing each other.
Lucky for this movie, I don't really care about those things. This transitions to images in a picture book telling history's official version of the story.
Then what happened?
Being read to a middle-aged woman pretending to be a child.
All at once, anger and hatred were changed into understanding and hope. Humans and Pokemon on both sides returned to their homes and peace was restored to the land.
Must make life real easy to just say, and then war stopped because shiny.
That's a great story. Can you read it again, please?
This is the 5th time tonight, kid. Go to bed already!
We go through an admittedly cool time warp sequence, hear that classic intro once more, and then meet up with our crew, Ash, Brock, May, and Max, arriving in a land called Aura.
Get it?
The kingdom is holding a festival in honor of their legendary hero, Sir Aaron, and the main event will be a Pokemon competition.
What a shock. Anyway, they're gonna need costumes if they really want to get into the spirit of things.
I'm gonna wear something heroic.
Again, what a shock.
Wait, wasn't Mew supposed to be in this movie?
That's Mew, actually. He has the special ability to transform into any Pokemon he desires, something that they conveniently ignored for the first movie, if you'll recall.
And of course, the first thing he does with his transformation powers is to start trolling Pikachu by changing into stuff.
The trainers all get into their costumes, and Ash, of course, finds a reproduction of Sir Aaron's outfit by pure coincidence, when suddenly...
Leaf, I'm scared.
Pika Clown.
Huh? Oh, good. I thought they were gonna eat him or something.
Also, Team Rocket is here. We will ignore them. You should too.
Then we get to the long battle sequence where Ash does stuff while the rest of the movie buffers or something.
If anyone needs to go to the bathroom while watching this movie, here is where I would go.
Oh, come on, guys, these parts are fun.
Your opinion sucks and is objectively wrong. Go and sulk with cabbage.
Okay.
You ever think we're too mean?
Nope.
Me either.
Huh. That might be a little overkill. Anyway, Ash wins and is officially named this year's Guardian of Aura.
Then we meet this guy, and that guy is a girl!
That guy's a girl.
Ugh, that was weird. Anyway, she introduces herself as Kid, and then Brock.
And I'm Brock, at your service. I just wanted you to know that if you're ever in need of a squire, you can...
Is Brock.
Even a suit of armor isn't enough protection from you.
If this were a different kind of channel...
We'd be making all kinds of dirty jokes right now.
I can tell dirty jokes.
So Ash receives from the Queen of Aura the ancient scepter that once belonged to Sir Aaron, the very one holding Lucario if you'll recall. And he officially takes his place as the Guardian of Aura.
But then the rock at the end of the scepter starts talking to him.
Why did you betray me?
What is with these Pokemon movies and talking rocks? This movie has the Guardian staff, Jirachi Wishmaker had the Millennium Comet, and Destiny Deoxys had that meteorite thing with the shiny Helix Tinkerbell whatever.
And if you include non-sentient rocks, there was the Soul Dew in Pokemon Heroes the movie, you had the 3 treasures from Pokemon the movie 2000, and then there was Ash Ketchum himself in Pokemon the first movie. Just how many more magical MacGuffin rocks are we gonna have to deal with in these movies?
Turns out that being Guardian kinda sucks because while everyone else is dancing and eating and having a good time, all Ash gets to do is sit on his butt and watch. Worst championship prize ever. Also, Kid is really freaking tall.
At least Ash and May are good enough to let their teams out to stretch their legs.
Not Brock, though. He's a butt. But...
Anyway, this Pokemon, who's totally not Mew in disguise, leads all the other Pokemon to a spooky room in the attic because he's secretly a serial killer.
Meanwhile, Kid slinks away from the rest of the party and follows them because she's secretly hunting this Mew thing, talking to some old guy named Banks. Plot point!
Well, well. It turns out she may not be everything she seems to be. We rejoin our Pokemon friends, and I'll bet you thought I was kidding about the creepy attic thing, didn't you?
But instead of murder, they're off having fun. With toys that I'll never be able to play with again. I'm sad now.
Look, have a sock. That's not...
Thank you!
Kid follows them via the rooftops and sends her to Weavile to put a tracker on the Mew, which by now has dropped its disguise.
Blech. They got some pretty smooth moves for being outnumbered. Not that the others were all that helpful. So Mew just up and teleports away, leaving the Weavile's mission a failure. But not without taking Meowth and Pikachu with them. Oh yeah, we were ignoring Team Rocket. Never mind.
This is actually a very interesting thing to do, because the cliche thing is to set up small victories for the antagonist early on so that they can set up for larger confrontations later in the story.
In this scenario, the writers gotta be creative and use their brains to come up with what happens next.
Just a heads up though, I'm not gonna have that many more nice things to say about story decisions made throughout the rest of the film, so just be ready for that.
Meanwhile, this movie's talking rock gets angry and starts to glow, and out comes Lucario, temporarily mistaking Ash for Sir Aaron. It's the outfit, ain't it?
Actually, no. Lucario doesn't need to see people in order to recognize them. He can use the power of aura to figure out who he's talking to. And that actually is one of the things that aura does.
Precisely! That is a Pokemon technique called Foresight. It overcomes any attempt to blind the Pokemon or obscure its vision by allowing it to see the world through aura instead.
So, how come he thought Ash was Sir Aaron?
Why, that's very simple, Husky. And contrived. But we'll get to that in just a moment.
Once Lucario realizes his mistake because of the sand that was in his eyes, he rushes out to find some answers, and we get another moment of bad acting from Jason Griffith.
I'll teach you everything I have learned so that you can also learn how to be a user of aura.
Thank you.
Yes, the aura is inside.
Here's a little sample of how that line could have been read better.
I'll teach you everything I have learned so that you can also learn how to be a user of aura.
I will teach you everything I've learned so that you can also learn to be a user of aura.
See? Not that hard.
Here's another point in this movie's credit. When the gang confronts Lucario, no one is panicking or acting like idiots. They know the legend, piece together what's going on, and then they approached him calmly and peacefully to explain everything. You know, like people do when they got brains.
And what's more, Lucario isn't completely freaking out either. Yes, he almost freaks out because, well, it's kind of a big deal to realize that you've been asleep for 1,000 years. But he also does the smart thing and listens to people who are obviously trying to help him.
In return, Lucario explains to them his side of the story, which doesn't paint Sir Aaron in such a great light, saying that he betrayed them and everything.
Thank you for not wasting time with pointless drama.
So, why did Lucario think Ash was Aaron again?
The aura I sense in you is like Sir Aaron's.
So what, he's the chosen one? Again? How many prophecies is he gonna be a part of?
Okay, there was movie 2, no prophecy in the third one. Movie 4 was technically setting up his destiny, so that doesn't really count. No prophecies in the next 3 movies.
Don't forget meeting Ho in the TV show.
Right. So, out of 8 movies and 1 TV show, he's been the chosen one 3, maybe 4 times.
Nerd!
Oh, like you can talk, brony.
Then this kid Max rushes in, and he's all like, Pikachu and Mew happened! What the heck is that? Why, it's Lucario. He's been in a magical stick for 1,000 years. No way!
That's when Kid finally steps out and confirms what Max said without ever fessing up to her contribution to the conflict.
Brock eventually recognized her as Kid Summers, some kind of famous adrenaline junkie from TV.
Kid Summers has set a world record for setting the most world records ever, and she soared higher, dived deeper, and space traveled farther than any human being in history. To call Kid Summers a superwoman is the understatement of the century. She's super duper!
Okay.
Epic quest, please.
But first, an emo moment.
I don't have any friends, and I don't want any.
This has been
an emo moment.
So the team is on its way using the aura tracking skills of Lucario to find Mew at its stronghold, the Tree of Beginning.
But Lucario can see through it?
Yeah, it's guided by aura.
Aura?
We already established this woman. Freaking keep up! Elsewhere, Pikachu gets better from that fight he had where... I gotta lay off the crackberries, man. I mean crackberries!
Well, that happened. Oh look, the guys found a hot spring. That also happened. Now here's where we find my second true complaint about this movie. The first one being the bad voice performance from Jason Griffith.
Wait, what about the rest of the stuff we've been saying?
Needless nitpicking for the sake of comedy. That's right, not everything I say needs to be taken seriously. This, however, does. Ash finds a flower growing out of the rock face, and when he accidentally picks it, this happens.
A flower? Huh? You've picked a time flower. The legend says Sir Aaron could look into the past using a time flower like this one. It responded because Ash and Aaron's aura is the same.
Plot point! Not only does this relegate our aura to just magic that does whatever the writer needs it to, showing us actual visions of the past rather than giving us clues to piece together in this mystery story is really lazy writing. Not that it shows us anything vitally important off the bat.
Ha ha! It's funny because he fell down. Anyway, when this movie was made, a big trend in TV shows was for Ash to tell stories of his past adventures to May and Max around the campfire.
This scene reflects that as Ash details information about how he and Pikachu developed their friendship. It's here where I notice something very interesting about the way Ash tells this particular story.
What's that?
We actually watched the episode from way back when that they're referring to here. And, Husky, do you remember why Pikachu saved Ash from all those Spearow?
Well, yeah, it's because Ash protected Pikachu first. He even stole Misty's bike to do it.
Oh, bike thievery aside, at no point does Ash focus on what he did for Pikachu. He always focuses on what Pikachu did for him. This is actually very important for establishing him as a heroic character. It's one thing to make this clear by having him say stuff like,
I'm gonna wear something heroic. Pika!
And a completely different thing to establish it by showing how he always thinks in a selfless manner. The movie isn't cramming this down our throats either. I almost completely missed this on my first viewing.
Heck, Ash isn't really even the focus here. This scene is really about Lucario musing about his relationship with Aaron, giving us more reason to understand why he feels so betrayed. Stop making me feel things, movie!
It's your turn, Lucario. You can do it. I know.
Thank you, that sucked me right out of it.
And again...
It's your turn, Lucario. You can do it. I know.
Anyway, Lucario storms off after this flashback saying that all humans are alike.
You would leave Pikachu without hesitating if you had to.
Well, looks like someone misinterpreted episode 39 of the anime.
Calling all nerds! Shut up! He and Ash exchange more harsh words, and Ash does what he always does when faced with problems. He tackles it. Literally. Then chocolate happens. Okay.
The next day, Lucario angsts some more, and oh look, another one of those time flower things. It's just going off on its own. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it needed aura to activate. And of course, it shows off Lucario getting sealed away in Sir Aaron's staff.
To make things more traumatic, the next thing it shows is the army's attacking, and Lucario goes all Rambo on us, spamming Hadokens in every direction.
Yes, we know they're called aura spheres, it was a joke. Now, I know I said that the time flower is a lazy plot device, and it is, but to this movie's credit, it doesn't just magically clear up all the mystery going on. The picture it paints is confusing even to the characters. It may show the what, but not the why.
Ash feels like the biggest heel ever for saying stuff like,
Why don't you tell us the real story, Lucario? You deserted Sir Aaron and the Queen, didn't you?
Earlier, and goes to formally apologize. And darn it, I'm feeling things again! Make it stop!
Then Regirock happens. What the heck is Regirock, you ask? Who cares?
I care.
They escape from Regirock into the interior of the Tree of Beginning.
This is where stuff gets pretty freaking messed up.
Remember, Kid is still here as an investigator, so she's going to investigate stuff in this Tree of Origin looking for Mew.
Why'd you air quote that?
I don't know.
Some of this investigating involves sending off weird little robots, provoking these seemingly inert crystal things, and turn them into flesh-eating monsters. Oh yeah, Mew. I forgot about him.
But once Ash finally gets within shouting distance of Pikachu, Regice appears. What the heck is Regice?
Stop asking legitimate questions! Rain!
That's hail, actually. Good try, though.
Shut up!
Oh yeah, Team Rocket's been in this movie the whole time. Anyway, Reggie Steele. Don't ask, just run.
And remember those flesh-eating crystals?
Well, here they are. No, we weren't joking. And no, it doesn't turn out that these things just pick people up and move them somewhere else completely unharmed.
These things are out for freaking blood. They freaking ate Team Rocket!
Banks, what is that thing?
I guess the best equivalent would be white blood cells. The Tree of Beginning produces them as antibodies to protect against infection. They're meant to encapsulate foreign parasites and eliminate them.
Translation:
slow and painful death. I love this movie!
But then it gets Lucario.
Lucario!
I guess Pokemon aren't considered dangerous.
Racist! Ash hangs back to lead the Reggies away, and Mew clearly has no idea what's going on. Then everyone gets eaten by the globs. Everyone! Except Kid.
Which obviously means everyone's gonna turn out perfectly fine.
Aw, all that perfectly good tension is gone.
Don't worry, there's still a little bit left. Ash and Pikachu finally meet once more, but Ash has to run across a crystal canyon to get to him, and those violent winds are not doing him any favors.
Don't worry, here comes Kid to save the day! And Mew got Ash's hat back! And isn't that what really matters? Anyway, more running and more Mew not knowing what the heck is going on!
That's when everyone gets cornered in this weird room thing, and then Ash too gets eaten. Don't worry, if the first movie's taught us anything, is that if you cry enough about something, everything will be better.
So go and make with the waterworks and make everything good again. Why isn't this working? Leaf, the feels. I don't want your stupid hat. I want my best friend back.
Mew ex machina.
Eh?
That's right, Mew had the power the whole time to call off the blobs. He was just so oblivious that it never occurred to him until just now. He reverses the blobs, forcing them to give back the humans.
So what, is everything good again?
Well, no. Not at all. Apparently, reversing the process like that threw the entire tree into chaos, and now it's going to have a major meltdown, killing everyone inside and making Mew very sick in the process. So yes, the mystery of Mew is that he and the Tree of Origin are symbiotic creatures or whatever. Kinda lame, but that's how it goes with these films.
So, time to wrap up?
No! You are not going to finish this review until you do something special!
That's right. Time to wrap up. Mew leads them to a giant crystal. Lucario sees Sir Aaron's glove and his encapsulated body. Another super convenient time flower shows Sir Aaron sacrificed his life so that he could magically solve war through magic, aura. Lucario feels like a heel. Mew tells them to save the tree with aura. Lucario is willing to make the same sacrifice as Sir Aaron, but is not strong enough. Ash suits up and magically figures out how to make aura happen. Lucario knocks Ash out of the way at the last second. Mew fixes the tree. Kid decides not to tell the world about the secret of the Tree of Origin. Lucario doesn't make it. The flower gives us Sir Aaron's final words, revealing that Aaron only sealed him away to keep him from following him. Totally called it. The day is saved, and why is such a lazy plot point making me feel this much?
The end!
I don't think I've ever seen a Pokemon movie that was such a mixed bag as this one. Usually these Pokemon movies are either good or bad on the whole, but this one leaves me feeling conflicted as to what to think. On the one hand, some of the vocal performances are clearly phoned in, and I can't get over how much I dislike the Time Flower as a plot point. On the other hand, this movie is actually pretty good at earning its emotional moments. Still, the mystery elements could have been handled so much better, and it took a while before there was any real stakes on the line. All in all, I would give this a cautious recommendation to true Pokemon fans only. Anyone else may end up a little lost. Whenever you don't know what to do with a particular film or TV show or any piece of media, always err on the side of looking for the good.
It's nice to have a nice, peaceful, normal review without...
What the? Looks like something else wanted to cameo today. So until next time, Husky and I have a little mess to clean up.
I'm still here.
No one cares!
I am the kid movie ninja. This is a Patreon shout to Steve Sharp, Jordan Mathis, and Megan Cloud. Check out Steve Sharp at Sharp Rain Music on YouTube because he's freaking awesome. Become a patron today and get involved. Here's my P.O. box. Want to send me something? Send it here. Stay awesome, guys. Later.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut out Husky's line there because that toss was just too perfect. You okay?
It never touched me, just...
I am better at that than I thought.
I mean, obviously if you had hit me, there would have been that take would have gone somewhat differently.